welcome to the Thailand News and SNEC Solar Leadership Conversations. My name is Michael Schmela. I'm the Managing Director of Thailand News, and I'm very happy to have with us Yan Yang, who's the CTO of Runergy. Welcome. Yeah.
Thank you, Mike. Yeah.
So let's start. You're very famous, of course, among module manufacturers who buy your cells. Runergy is one of the world-leading cell manufacturers. And tell us a little bit about your company and how you became a top 3 solar cell manufacturer.
Sure. Well, Runergy was formed in 2013. So this year is the 10 years anniversary, actually. Okay. In the first, I should say, the first 2 years is very difficult because at that time there are only 4 employees, only 4 people, the total company, and we didn't have our own solar cell factory. So the technical services was the main business at that time.
Okay.
Yeah. And this situation began to change, improve a bit in 2015. In that year, we signed a contract with a factory. It's named Shanxi Luan. We signed a contract with that factory to improve their efficiency. And it turned out that we did a great job. Yeah. So now it changed. We start to earn money. Yeah. And so when it comes to 2017, finally we had our own first solar cell factory in Jiangsu city. Uh-huh. Yeah, this is the headquarters we are located now. And after that, we start to expand, and we have expanded from Jiangsu to Jiangsu. Jiangsu is a small city near to Jiangsu and to Thailand. Yeah. So we continue to expand, and our effort has been recognized by our customer. So our market share is also began to expand. And by the end of last year, I think the shipment of the total in 2022 is 21 kilowatts.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that was the shipments, okay. Mm-hmm. As I understand, you had also invested in Polysilicon.
Sure.
Can you also provide some background on
Yes.
this?
Well, investing Polysilicon, I think, is a decision made from the long-term development strategy of company. The one thing is we need to make sure the security of the supply chain. That's the one reason. So we need to invest upward Polysilicon. And the second reason is, I just mentioned that we started from the solar cell research and manufacturing, but we aim to be an overall renewable energy provider. So which means we need to cover the whole chain of the renewable energy, from polysilicon to cell to module and to system.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the second reason. Actually, we have our own system department already. Yeah.
Okay. Mm-hmm. But that means you have the cell production. Mm-hmm. You went into or invested into polysilicon.
Yeah.
What about ingots and wafers? Are you contracting that, or is that also planned to be?
At the moment, no. We don't have ingot wafers at the moment. But I think in the future we have.
You will have it. So the idea is really to become a fully integrated manufacturer.
Yes.
Okay. Mm. And now you're going into modules, or you've gone into modules, and then also into systems. Can you just explain us a little bit then the business model of Runergy? So will you still provide cells to your customers, or will you turn fully into a module company and maybe even use some of the modules for your own projects. So how should that work in the future?
Yeah. Actually, solar cell is still the main business of Runergy. The reason we move into module is, just I mentioned, we need to have the integration of the whole chain of this business. So we need to get closer to the end user. So module is directly faced to the end user. That's the reason we move to the module business. Yeah.
And what about the systems business? Can you explain a little bit how that should work?
The system business is another department, and it's quite small. I mean, when you compare with LONGi and other big companies, yeah. But I can tell you just last month, there's 1 megawatt big PV system just has been turned on last month. That's built by our PV system.
So that was your first big
Not
project?
the first one, the biggest one.
The biggest one,
Yeah.
okay. But that's at the moment still focused in China, or are you also looking beyond?
At the moment still focused in China.
Okay. At the moment, we are in this huge capex phase, so everybody is crazily expanding.
Crazy.
So how are you playing in this you can call it almost competition to become the biggest?
Okay. So you mean the roadmap? Or?
No, yeah. So your roadmap. So what's your plans for in terms of expansion?
I think that's a good question. The roadmap, the technical roadmap is always very difficult to predict.
Yeah. No. At the moment, it's only about capacities, not so about the cell technology. At the moment, how are the plans for capacities?
Okay. So in terms of polysilicon, we start from polysilicon, okay?
Yeah.
In terms of polysilicon, we have, at the moment, by the end of last year, we already have 50,000 tons in Ningxia province. It works very successful. We earn a lot of money from that. And the second project is in Inner Mongolia. It will be finished by the end of maybe the end of next year, not sure. The capacity is about 80,000 tons.
Okay.
Yeah, per year.
Okay.
Yeah. That's so far the two projects in terms of polysilicon. And in terms of solar cells, at the moment we have, I think, 26 gigawatts capacity for solar cells, which are all Perk cells, yeah. But by the end of this year, we'll expand about 36 gigawatts. That's for Topcon, all for Topcon.
Okay. So you will keep the Perk as it is, and the new expansion is based on Topcon.
Yeah, basically it is. Yeah.
Okay.
Another option is we upgraded the Topcon line to Topcon, the Perk line to Topcon.
But that will depend on customers' needs.
Yeah,
Okay.
It depends on the cost. And in terms of module, we have, I think we have 12 gigawatts and 9 gigawatts in Jiangsu and Thailand, respectively.
Okay.
Yeah, at the moment. And by the end of this year, I think we have another 11 gigawatts in total in Thailand and US.
So you will also start module manufacturing in the US?
Exactly.
Okay. And Thailand will be expanded so that you
Yes.
have cell and module manufacturing in
Yeah.
Thailand? Okay. And so is that, so that means in Thailand will all cells be then assembled into modules, or is it?
No, I think the capacity of cells is still larger than module in Thailand.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that means you're also serving to module manufacturers?
True.
Okay, perfect. And the technology roadmap, you already said it's difficult to predict, and I think things are changing obviously so quickly. But you're the CTO and you're overseeing that all, and you probably have your people working on and looking into all the technologies. And you made a technology choice already, because you said we're not going HJT, but we're going Topcon. So what was the rationale behind that? And simply just give us a little bit of an idea what your thinking is about, even if no decisions have been made.
Yeah. Well, because I think the PV industry is not yet mature, it's still underdeveloped, and it changed too quickly. So I can give you an example. About 4 years ago, many people said that Perk cell had reached its limit, its ceiling. No chance to get higher than 23% about 4 years ago. At that time, the average efficiency about 22.5, as I remember. So let's change Topcon or other heterojunction or IBC, just get it off Perk cell. But I disagree with them at the time. Just I mentioned that my PhD was focused on the simulation, so by the simulation, I think, at that time, I thought that the Perk cell can reach 24% about 4 years ago. And today, in Runergy, R&D, we have reached this 24% average in a small batch, a few thousand cells average. So I think in terms of roadmap, the Perk cell will finish its historic mission, I think, when it reached the 24% average. Yeah, and then hand it over to the Topcon cell. Yeah.
So, and where are you in average now? Where it is now? Where's now the average for
You mean for max
Perk?
production for Perk?
Yeah.
It's about 23 for 6 or 7 average.
Okay, so there's still a little bit.
So a little bit. The 24% I mentioned is for R&D,
Yeah.
Yeah,
And when do you think it will be reached in mass production?
It will be 1 year, maybe.
Okay.
Yeah. It depends on how fast the Topcon will be developed. So the next step may be Topcon, because the cost for equipment of Topcon has been going down very quickly. It's very cost effective compared to other cell type like heterojunction or IBC.
But I think the interesting thing is also still about costs comparison of Perk and Topcon. Now, I think almost everyone is moving Topcon, and customers also want Topcon. Somehow, I think this seed is planted that the customers think they really need Topcon. But from a cost perspective, probably Perk is still better than Topcon, right?
If you only look at the single side yield, in the field, when you put the modules in the field, the yield, if you only look for the single side, Perk cell is outperform Topcon.
Yeah.
But Topcon cell has its advantage that the real side,
the bifaciality,
is higher.
Yeah. But for you as a manufacturer, if we don't look at the customer at the moment, looking at the cost side and also the profit side in the end for a manufacturer, I think here the Perk cell is more attractive, isn't it?
Yeah. Just I mentioned at the moment, we still need to get to 24% for Perk cell. After that, it reaches a limit. Yeah. It's difficult. Not limit, but difficult to get higher. Yeah.
But at the moment, still you make more profits on Perk than you.
True.
Yeah. Because I think the price for Topcon is hardly any higher.
Yeah. But the market is driving us to move to the Topcon very quick.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah. I think the next step, the Topcon will reach. Well, my estimation is about 26.5%. Yeah, more or less. Yeah.
When?
It's a good question because, this year the total expansion about Topcon is about 400 gigawatts. It's huge. It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's huge, and efficiency is getting higher very fast. And the reason for this, I think, Topcon is not a new thing. It's not a new technology. Before the Frank Fetterman in Fraunhofer-ISE used this name Topcon for the tunnel oxide passivation structure. Actually, a few years before that, I think it's about 2000. SunPower already used this technology in their IBC structure. Yeah. I mean, this technology has been intensively studied, but not in the industry, but in the lab or in other very small among the community. So we have this accumulation of technology already. Now we move to the mass production, so it goes out very quick.
Okay.
Yeah, that's my personal point of view. But this is not a good thing. I think this is not a good thing for Topcon, which means maybe the lifetime for Topcon will be not very long.
Yeah.
Because every structure has its own limits.
Yeah.
If you move too fast at the first beginning of 1 or 2 years, it will maybe the lifetime will be short. You know what I mean? So unless you develop or keep the evolution of the new structure or new design of Topcon, the lifetime will be very short, maybe 3 or 5 years.
Sure. The question is actually what comes next, and so if we go to tandem, what will be the substructure? So
Yeah, I think the next step after Topcon will be tandem.
yeah.
Yeah, because from the physical point of view, when you look at the recombination, you know, there are mainly 3 channels for recombination for solar cells. One is the recombination loss, the electron and hole recombination loss.
Yeah.
The second one is optical loss. The third one is the resistive loss. So if you look at the recombination loss, for Topcon cell, we have reached a very good level. The J naught of the tin oxide passivation has less than 1 femtogram per centimeter. It's pretty low already.
Yeah.
But when you look at the optical loss, from Perk to Topcon, it's not improved, but getting worse. When you look at the current, the JC, from Perk to Topcon is getting lower due to the absorption of the polysilicon.
No, you're right. The question is only, of course, if there might be also another path, and that's actually that we get into IBC. Could be also that we go heterojunction IBC maybe. So I think at least what we've been seeing recently also that some companies try to go directly to back contact cells.
No, IBC is an option. I mean, but tandem cell, tandem structure will outperform IBC.
No, sure, but the question is, does that come before?
Yeah.
So,
But I mean, in the future,
yeah.
So if you need to improve the optical loss, we have to use tandem structure.
Absolutely, that's for sure.
Yeah.
So
That's my personal.
Yeah. The only question is on what comes after Topcon, especially when you say it might be very short-lived. So let's see. Before we dive too deep into technology, I think we could talk hours about that. Just tell us a little bit about your strategy for modules. So because I think you have been a cell manufacturer, so you were selling to module manufacturers, and I think now it's completely different when you start selling modules. So that means you have to look for distributors, you have to look for another sales network. So what's the strategy, and how do you want to do that also geographically?
Well, I think we still need to focus on solar cell. The solar cell is still our main business, and actually we need to keep the company running well using the profit from the solar cell actually. So I think in the next 3 or 4 years, more than 50% of our solar cell capacity will be sent to other module customer.
Okay.
Yeah, that's our strategy.
So that means you want to just slowly start growing the module business. But nevertheless, where are your modules being sold? Where are they available?
Now it's mainly in China, but we also start to sell in US. Yeah. That's why we need to build our factory in US.
Okay.
Yeah.
Have you already decided on where and?
The US factory will be open I think in September or October this year.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you can already say where it is, or is it?
To be honest, I don't remember.
Okay, but it's all under preparation, so the project is going on. Okay, because September is already very soon.
Yeah.
Okay.
We will announce this news in SPI.
Okay.
The SPI conference in US.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Great. So, what's the news for Runergy is actually presenting at SNEC?
I think the biggest news is we are going to announce, we call it super module. Yeah, it made from the M10 cell, and the Pmax reached 600 watts.
Okay, it's a 600 watt
Topcon module.
Topcon module.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
How many cells is it? So it's a.
You will see if you go to our booth.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Perfect. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So that means basically that's your first Topcon product you
Yes.
are now
Yes.
releasing here. Okay.
But I can tell you the efficiency of a module is 23.2%.
Wow, that's high.
Yeah.
Okay. So that would be. So you would be the third one now actually to cross the 23%
Module
level,
efficiency.
yeah, module efficiency level, because I think, that was the next border, and yeah, that's very exciting. Okay, very cool. Thanks, Jan.